WGN investigates another South suburb with a double-dipping politician who has a taste for travel, and how a long-running political feud has it spilling out into the open.
Records show he charged a total of more than $35,000 at restaurants, including Chicago Cut, Hooters, and Cafe Borgia in Munster, Indiana, where the bills totaled more than $14,000 in just 2 years. It reads, "After Clerk Fig's nasty interview about me tonight on WGN, I am withdrawing my support for the $250,000 for the Park District."
Because I told the truth, which is what you're supposed to do as an elected official and stand up for the taxpayers of the city of Calumet City. It's very punitive, is typical behavior by Mayor Jones, and typically this is how he retaliates.
Mayor Jones has refused to talk to us. His spokesperson first suggested the email threatening the $250,000 grant was fake.
That email was sent at 9:46 p.m. The news story that set him off aired around 9:13 p.m. 33 minutes from his official city account. My name is Hannibal. Today we're going to go back to the south suburbs of Chicago and let's see exactly what's going on. Of course, there's going to be a bunch of nonsense. Let's get into it. It's been a minute since I talked about the south suburbs. This is Calumet City. This is 10 minutes away from Dalton. Yes, Dad Dalton. If you've been rocking with this channel, you already know that the south suburbs have been running a masterclass in local political dysfunction for decades.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people.
Today's subject is Mayor Thaddeus Jones, the mayor of Calumet City and the Illinois state representative of the 29th district. 2 taxpayer-funded jobs, making over $225,000 a year. So let's start back a few years ago. Actually, 2017, before Jones was a mayor, he was already making headlines for the wrong reasons. A complaint filed with the Illinois State Board of Elections alleged that his campaign fund was looking less like a political war chest and more of a personal piggy bank. We're talking about payments to his fiance and his ex-wife for vague campaign work, over $95,000 in loans from his campaign committees to his own nonprofit, and more than $50,000 that Jones personally received from those same committees. What we just showed you is what happens when the systems fail the people who need them the most. And honestly, Medicare does the same thing. Every day, seniors get steered into plans that pay the aged more, not plans that actually fit them. It's a legal hustle, and most people don't even know it's happening. That's why I tell people about Chapter. Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that compares every plan nationwide. Their advisors are salaried, not commissioned, so they have zero reason to push you towards the wrong plan. Your doctors, your prescriptions, your budget. That's all they're looking at. Last year, seniors who switched plans with Chapter saved the average of $1,100 on healthcare costs. $1,100. If you're already on the right plan, they'll tell you that as well. Free call under 20 minutes. That is 570-906-8018. Link will be in the description and the pinned comment below.
The spending as reported is just it's severe and it's outrageous.
It's alleged some of these funds are going towards his fiance and some are going to his ex-wife.
Yes.
$2,200 for, in part, campaign work, school, and tuition assistance.
This isn't just bad reporting or bad bookkeeping. This is a clear violation of the law.
That's not true. This is political allegations.
The complaint also raises questions about the $95,000 in loans that Jones' campaign committees reportedly made to Jones's nonprofit. Also in question, the more than $50,000 that Jones has personally received from his campaign committees. Jones believes this and other allegations are politically motivated. You're going to fight this?
Of course I'm going to fight it. There's no truth to it. So yes, I'm going to fight it.
But here's where it gets interesting, because buried in that same complaint was a line item that I need you guys to check out for just a second. We talked about this a year ago. 74 visits to Hooters. Not just a handful of times, 74 separate tabs at a Hooters in South Suburb Lansing, totaling nearly $6,800 in campaign funds. When asked about it, Jones said this, and I'm not making this up.
Frequent meals at this Hooters in South Suburban Lansing. We counted 74 visits since January 2014. The total tab, per the complaint, nearly $6,800 in campaign funds.
Was that all campaign related?
No, that was a fundraiser event that we did with the policemen and firemen.
So we have one fundraising event, but 74 times. Now look, I'm not going to tell a grown man where to eat. But when you're spending campaign money at the same restaurant 74 times and calling it a fundraiser, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And even a year ago when I said I haven't been to Hooters, I still haven't been, not once. But apparently Mayor Thaddeus Jones have been there enough times for the both of us. Everyone in the comment section, probably your whole family as well. This is the same man who later would get a state issued credit card, and we'll get to that in a second. But fast forward to 2021, Jones becomes mayor and immediately orders an audit of City Hall. Sounds very reasonable, right? Except the audit became a weapon. Jones used it to accuse city clerk Figs of destroying 2 truckloads of city records and then sues her. The city council spends years trying to kill a lawsuit, calling it baseless and a waste of resources. Jones blocks every motion to dismiss this for 3 years straight. Then the council schedules a special meeting to finally vote and end this. And what happens? City Hall closes abruptly around noon. Mayor Jones gave the excuse that it was some plumbing issues that arrived.
That's because City Hall abruptly closed around noon today. The mayor blames plumbing issues. The council members who attended tonight's special meeting don't buy it. They believe the mayor was trying to block this meeting tonight.
But the council shows up anyway. They find barricades, caution tape, a locked door, and a sign citing unforeseen emergency circumstances. So what do they do anyway? They vote outside, motion passes, lawsuit dismissed, and Clerk Figs puts it plainly.
It's been 4 years of bullying, 4 years of being locked out of the office, of just my duties being taken away, being demeaned, text messages being sent out about me.
Meanwhile, Jones issued a statement of his own. His exact words is this:
Authority to dismiss a lawsuit. Under ordinance number 2-492, only the mayor can direct legal work. This is a political ploy by a failed candidate and a city clerk who destroyed city records.
Which brings us to the credit card situation that we're talking about recently. WGN investigates pulled 2 years of Mayor Jones' city-issued card statements. What they found is quite embarrassing, but not that unexpected. Over $35,000 spent at restaurants, Chicago Cut, Hooters, some cafes, a bunch of places where they're spending tens of thousands of dollars, more than $46,000 in travel for himself and others, going to Las Vegas, Colorado Springs, Miami, a $17,000 trip to Washington, D.C., which included a $7,700 spent at the Marriott, and spending $2,600 at a upscale steakhouse, spending about $1,229 at the Cousin's Maine Lobster in Springfield on the Calumet City's tab while he was out there doing his other job.
Yes, the credit card is absolutely positively just extra money. I mean, he used it as his personal wallet. The city was his personal purse, period.
We had questions as well, but through a spokesperson, Jones declined multiple interview requests and did not attend the 2 regular board meetings in March, which occurred on the same days he was in Springfield for his other job as a state legislator.
And I want to make sure that we're doing right by the people. We spend a lot of money to live so poorly.
So now it's time to talk about the email. So WGN airs this story around 9:13 p.m. on April 30th. 33 minutes later, an email goes out from Mayor Jones' official city account. And it goes like this.
It reads, after Clerk Figs' nasty interview about me tonight on WGN, I am withdrawing my support for the $250,000 for the Park District.
Because I told the truth, which is what you're supposed to do as an elected official and stand up for the taxpayers of the city of Calumet City. Elected officials should not be allowed to withhold state funds because of personal vendettas against other elected officials. It is an epidemic that's going around here in the Southland, and it needs to stop.
What you say is true.
The same person he locked out of City Hall years ago. She's also a 20-year commissioner at the Calumet City Park District, meaning pulling that money wouldn't just punish her, it would punish the entire community.
We need to revamp our parks, our buildings, our facilities.
So the sudden email threatening to withdraw support for Park District money hit hard in a community known for rough and tumble politics.
It's very punitive, is typical behavior by Mayor Jones, and typically this is how he retaliates.
What was his spokesperson's first move? Call the email fake.
His spokesperson first suggested the email threatening the $250,000 grant was fake. We then showed him a copy. He now doesn't deny its authenticity and adds the mayor thinks the money for the Park District is imperative, a matter of principle, and he's supportive.
Suddenly, no comment on the fact that it's real. None of this makes any sense. Now look, if this was just one mayor, you could just chalk it up to one bad actor and some personal issues. But this is just the suburbs of Illinois. This is the pattern I've been covering for years at this point. You talk about 10 minutes from Calumet City, it sits Dalton, where we covered Tiffany Henyard extensively on this channel. We are talking about the same playbook, personal spending on public dime, retaliation against anyone who speaks out. Now you have Napoleon Harris, the person who replaced Henyard as the supervisor. He's pulling tons of money per year. I think about $379,000 per year between his two taxpayer-funded positions. And before he even got that township job, he introduced legislation to protect the $200,000 plus supervisor salary that the trustees had tried to lower to $57,000 a year. That bill didn't pass, but identical language showed up in a completely unrelated bill about Crohn's disease awareness passed by a fellow Democrat, signed into law by the governor. Also, Harris had to pay back $20,000 in campaign funds because he spent it at Neiman Marcus, the Four Seasons in Miami, and Saks Fifth Avenue.
What you say is true. Your opponents are some pretty good actors.
Well, they deserve Oscars. I mean, you should give out WGN Oscars for political theater.
Same area, same machine, same corruption, just different names. The South Suburbs keeps producing this type of situation, and unfortunately, the residents are the ones keep paying the bill. We covered this mayor a while ago, and it looks like the credit card was just the surface. I think underneath a lot of this nonsense is a year-long campaign against a city clerk who wouldn't keep quiet the way he wants to, a lawsuit that lasted 3 years out of spite, and a retaliation email coming from an official government account 33 minutes after a story aired. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think for this situation, he just embarrassed himself, and I think that's why he tried to pull it back. But no surprise, this is what we deal with when we're talking about Illinois, one of the most corrupt places in the country. But let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.